True lovers, you're out here looking for your soulmate like it's a cosmic Amazon Prime delivery. Hi, universe? Yes, I'd like someone who's emotionally available, spiritually evolved, communicates clearly, and preferably has a beard. Oh, and you want it delivered by Tuesday? Cute. Hi, I'm Haim with Be Love Media, and today we'll chat about the juncture between the wisdom of the Tao Te Ching, verse 18, and your love life. I'm passionate about helping you decode the ancient truths that can save you from modern dating disasters. Because if Lao Tzu had Tinder, he'd probably swipe left on 98% of it. No kidding. If you stick around till the end of this video, I promise to gift you with 3 practical tips for your dating life based on this ancient Taoist verse. Those of you who know my story know that before I met the love of my life, my best friend and now my wife, Rachel, I had to drag my feet through 3 failed marriages, 3 painful divorces. Not something I'm proud of, and no, I'm not a Hollywood celebrity yet, but I did go through that, and I did make every possible relationship mistake you can possibly think about. And more specifically, made every possible mistake as far as how I chose my partners. Oh, this one is my soulmate. Oh, no, it's that one. Oh, no, it's... And you know what? If I had at my disposal this amazing wisdom in a way that I understood what that meant, the wisdom of the Tao Te Ching, I probably wouldn't have to go through all of that. But I have my karma, you have yours, and as Kabbalah would say it, I have my tikkun, which is correction in Hebrew, and I just had to go through it. There's no shortcuts in those things. But it doesn't mean you can't learn in the way of Satori. Those of you who are familiar with that term, meaning learn from somebody like me who's been through that. Does that mean you can duplicate my experience and understand all the painful lessons I've gotten from it? Probably not. But what if you just got a couple of those? And what if that shortened your journey and minimized some of the pains that I had to go through? So before we dive in, true lovers, go ahead and like this video as a loving act of service to your future self, and subscribe to our channel for more conscious dating wisdom served with a smile. So, verse 18 of the Tao Te Ching, open quote: "When the great Tao is forgotten, kindness and morality arise. When wisdom and intelligence are born, the great pretense begins. When there is no peace within the family, filial piety and devotion arise. When the country falls into chaos, patriotism is born." Close quote. So this is a fascinating verse because the Tao Te Ching is talking about stuff that sounds good to our ears, such as kindness and morality. What's wrong with that? When the great Tao is forgotten, kindness and morality arise. Don't we want kindness and morality arise? Don't we want wisdom and intelligence to be born? What about filial piety and devotion and patriotism? All words that a lot of people out there, specifically political leaders, use as demagogy, right? To manipulate us. And so can it be also in relationships. So this is a whole attempt to break down those words that sound good as concepts, but have some danger in them. So let's break it down. Number 1, when the great Tao is forgotten, kindness and morality arise. Look for authenticity, not performance. When someone talks a lot about how kind or moral they are, ask yourself, why the need to prove it? A truly grounded partner doesn't need to tell you, they just show you. My last ex, my 3rd wife, used to go around when we were in public, in social opportunities, and say stuff like, oh yeah, it was amazing, we found each other, so when we found each other, it was just amazing. And she kind of portrays it like we are worthy of coaching others. And some people came for us for advice. Worst couple to come for advice in hindsight. And when I look at my current relationship, there is none of that. First of all, I know better now than to offer advice unless somebody comes to me and asks me. But other than that, what do I know, kind of thing, right? Lao Tzu knows. I'm talking about the wisdom of an ancient wisdom, not my own wisdom, because I know better than that. And neither me or my current wife, Rachel, go around bragging about this or about that. It's pointless. And if we do, that probably means we don't know what we're talking about. So pay attention when others do it. And if you have that tendency to do it, tone it down and find a value of modesty and humility. Number 2, when wisdom and intelligence are born, the great pretense begins. Watch out for ego in spiritual clothing. A partner who needs to be the smartest or always right might not be connected to the Tao, but to their own reflection. There's something in spiritual pursuit, in spiritual growth, that is called the peacock phenomenon. What does that mean? That means that, and I was guilty of that years ago. So I started involving myself in spiritual study, and I learned Buddhism, and I learned Kabbalah, and I learned New Age consciousness in general, different philosophies, and I would go around and talk about it a lot. They call it the peacock phenomenon because you show off your knowledge of spirituality, but showing off or demonstrating knowledge of spiritual concepts does not equate spirituality per se. So what you're looking for is people who are spirituality. And to me, we can talk what is spirituality for days at a time, but I found out that spirituality really means just one thing and one thing only. If you try to crystallize it, if you try to get the essence of it in one line, in one word: kindness. How we treat other people is how spiritual we are. If you see somebody who is maybe even gives speeches or do talks about spirituality, or likes to post a ramble on Facebook until everybody else is blue in their face, but you know them intimately and you know how they treat their partner, or how they treat their kids, or how they treat their dog. I happen to know a certain partner of mine that I used to have used to kick the cat because the cat was annoying. Is that a spiritual act? Well, the cat deserves it. I don't know about that. How I treat others is how I practice my spirituality. All kind of beings. Number 3, when there is no peace within the family, filial piety and devotion arise. Close quote. How do they talk about their past and their family? If their devotion is performative or overcompensating, there may be unresolved wounds. Look for someone healing, not hiding. More examples for you from Haim's painful experience. No, it was good. I needed those lessons, guys. So past ex that I had, when she would tell me about her childhood experience, and granted, both me and her had some painful childhood experiences. We didn't have the best childhood, neither one of us. She had her share of experiences, and you could see that she still blamed those people for what happened to her. She still blamed some people in her family and some people she grew up with in how she got or didn't get certain things in life, right? She was talking about being discriminated against by her own parents or step-parents. When I spoke to the love of my life, Rachel, when we started getting to know each other, she had some tough childhood experiences as well. But not for a second I saw anything but gratitude for experiences. Yeah, she would share certain negative experiences, but you could see that she moved on from that. You could see that she didn't hold on to resentment. And if she had something unresolved, you could see that she was talking about it meaning if she still had some pain related to it, you could see she was talking about it from the point of introspection. And yeah, I still have something unresolved and I really want to work on it, versus, oh my God, I can't believe they did that to me. That's just not my wife's style, my Rachel's style, right? Because if we blame others for what happened to us, we give away our power. If we take responsibility for that and just understand that I am the cause in the effect of things that happen in my life, I am the cause, I am the source of it. Or better yet, God is the source of it, or the universe is the source of it, the Tao is the source of it, nature is the source of it. So guess what? I'm not gonna doubt, as I say, don't doubt the Tao. I'm not gonna doubt God, that God doesn't know what they're doing, right? If you are a believing person, a person of faith, then I would assume that you trust God in everything they do. So doubting God is just a form of no faith, and it doesn't make sense. So what if that was my lesson to learn? I think you get my drift. Number 4, the great pretense begins. Close quote. Be wary of people who lead with image over essence. If they're more interested in curating their spiritual Instagram than cultivating inner stillness, that's a red flag wearing mala beads. The social media is just filled with people that show off their spiritual knowledge. Heck, I used to be one of them, until I decided, both me and Rachel, very much in the beginning of our relationship, we decided, both of us, to get off social media, to get rid of social media. Now, we might use it for business purposes, but it is no longer where we go to get validation. We get validation from our own thoughts, from each other, from maybe we don't have need for no need for a lot of validation. So those of you who are familiar with the whole validation concept in spiritual terms, seeking validation just means that we're empty inside, and not in a good way. So if somebody you know, somebody you're getting to know, somebody you're dating, somebody you dated or will date, have a tendency to throw everything on social media and count how many likes they got, or no, not a good sign. And if you have that tendency, like I used to have, time to reconsider. Maybe you can minimize that. Declutter your mind by getting rid of some of that. Number 5, when the country falls into chaos, patriotism is born. Close quote. In relationships, crisis reveals character. Some people only show up when things are falling apart. Romantic adrenaline is not the same as sustainable love. Look for someone who is steady in peace and in storm. Here's another one of Haim's famous examples coming at you. When I was with one of my exes, we had a dog, and that dog was about to give birth. And at the time that the dog gave birth, because it's kind of a little bit unpredictable when they're going to do that, I was at work. I get a frantic phone call from my ex, and she says, oh my God, something is wrong. We need to go to the vet. Cool. I left everything I was doing, took the rest of the day off, and came home, and we rushed the dog to the vet. Sadly enough, our dog gave birth to a stillborn, to a still puppy, a dead puppy. How sad can that be, right? Super sad. We were communicating with the vet. They were asking us what we want to do with the still pup. If we want them to take care of it, to bury it, which of course has a cost attached to it. Do we want to do some expensive treatment to our dog? And this whole conversation was going on while we were still in pain. And then as we were considering it, my ex said to me in front of the vet, well, you decide what to do with it. It's your fault anyway. So we were going through some kind of an emotional storm. Our beloved dog, just gave a birth to a stillborn pup, and here she is blaming me. Isn't that telling? So that just happened to be in a very advanced stage of our relationship towards the end. But those examples were abundant in different ways, also in the beginning. Blaming and shaming and guilting have no place in a healthy relationship, let alone in a true soulmate relationship. Watch out for the blamers and guilters and shamers. Yes, I just made up some of those names, some of those labels. All right. 3 practical dating tips as promised from verse 18. Number 1, don't date someone's persona. Date their patterns, their character. Ask yourself, do their actions match their spiritual vocabulary? Or is it just incense-scented performance? Number 2, ask better questions early on. Try, what does emotional safety look like to you? Instead of, what's your favorite crystal? 3, don't be seduced by the chaos bond. If drama equals closeness, it's not love. It's trauma doing the tango. True lovers, if this video made you laugh, think, or quietly delete someone from your phone, you know what to do. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to Be Love Media, because healing is better with community, clarity, and a little cosmic sass. And remember, you don't need to find the one. You need to find your center so that the right one recognizes it when they find you. Be kind, be real, be love. See you in the next one.